Morning campers, this is Tim of Iron Earth 701 out for another adventure. I'm here back at the Sylvania Wilderness area, coming back from a business trip. And I'm camped here at Porcupine 2, a site that's really close to the launch for Crooked Lake. And there's also a trailhead to backpack to this location as well, so that's also another way to get here. But this is a very different view for Sylvania for me. I mean, this is seeing Sylvania in the basically the winter. This is really mid-spring. We're like almost April 14th, which is like I think the last day before you have to make reservations here. Lakes are all frozen over still. I mean, these lakes freeze really solidly deep. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's still ice on these lakes in early May. But anyway, I'm going to walk you guys into the site, show you where I'm at. It looks like there's a little creek here that kind of divides Porcupine 1 and Porcupine 2. I guess I'm camped at Porcupine 2. Well, I think it's Porcupine 2. But this is the landing here. So I'm going to walk you guys to the site, show you how I'm set up and the cooking area, because I'm gonna make some food here pretty quick and then break camp and get home. It's a Friday morning. I took a day off work. I went up to did a business trip, and I'm just taking an extra day here because I'm someplace I was not too far from Sylvania, and I wanted to take a look at it in the wintertime, see what it looks like. And it's pretty cool. It's there's a lot of pine here, so it's got a lot of green. You keep a lot of the green. There's another view of the lake up from near where I'm camped. I'll keep going up the hill here. Walk you guys into where I'm camped. So it's a nice view of the lake. So I kind of camped up here. Wanted to get a nice view. I think you're supposed to camp back there but I usually like to camp near the lake if I can. Or at least a place where I get a decent view of the lake. Bit of a bushwhack to get here. I couldn't really find the trail, so I guess it'll be more of a bushwhack to get back as well. This is a new tent for me. I've made a separate video on it. I'll talk about it later, but I'm going to call this my double hoop tent that I'm going to be using for, or maybe my double peak tent. I don't know, we'll figure out a name for it. This is probably the tent I'll be using a lot more on shoulder season backpacking trips. It's got a lot more internal space. Makes it really easy to use and be inside in the cold weather. Anyway, here's the view from a campsite. Pretty nice. Very nice view. And back here, it's still lots of snow on the ground. We've had some melting here the past couple days. It's been like in the 50s and 60s. It was actually quite warm yesterday. It was crazy. But the back here is, I think, one of the cooking areas more over here. Haven't found the thunder box. Hopefully I don't need it this morning before I get out of here. This is obviously a place you can set up tents and stuff. Over there is a nice little place to cook, which is where I was cooking. Haven't found the fire ring. I'm not quite sure where the fire ring is at. I thought all the sites had a fire ring. I thought that was part of the requirement, but yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe it's buried somewhere in the snow and I just can't see it. People obviously been here. This location is relatively easy to get to for people. So people have been coming here and making camping here overnight. I checked when I registered. You do still have to register for the site. Even register, you have to sign in and leave it in a book at the front. I guess a trail log. So some people have been to Porcupine over the winter, and you can actually see some of their handiwork here. Different wood and stuff cut up. But it's a cool little site. I think this might be a site I would consider in the future. I'm guessing this is Porcupine 2 on this side of the creek, and then over there is Porcupine 1 on the other side of the creek is what I think is the situation. And this creek here, it looks like a creek, but it's just a drainage for a swamp. So the water down there is really tannicky. I tried to use it for drinking, and the only use I could find for it was doing dishes. I ended up having to go way back into the bush there, trying to find a creek that was a lot cleaner to grab my water from. It wasn't quite as tannicky. I'm glad I brought some water too to drink. So I'm drinking the clean water, and I'm cooking with the not as tannicky water. And then I'm using the super tannic water for doing dishes. But it's a nice little site. I mean, it's got a nice view of the lake here. I mean, this is really, and it's not crazy high up from the lake. There are a lot of sites that are way high up from the lake, and it's kind of annoying. This isn't one of them. This is all right. This is an all right site. I'm guessing maybe under here somewhere the fire ring is buried. Maybe. Anyway, so I'm gonna sign off. This is just basically a really short video because I came here in the late afternoon and hiked into the site, set up camp, had dinner, went to bed, and then I'm gonna be hiking out of here. See, one thing I've learned about this kind of season, the air temperature was supposed to be in the 60s into the 70s, but having all this snow on the ground here kind of gives you a little bit of a refrigerator effect. So this place is last night it was supposed to be in the 50s last night, but I swear it felt like it was well into the upper 30s. It was a little cold last night. I had to put my rain gear on to keep myself from freezing in my sleeping bag. I only bought my 40-degree bag, and it was I was getting cold in it. So I suspect that this it's a lesson learned. I normally when there's stuff like this in the ground, it's usually colder. So I bring a heavier sleeping bag, and I bring a mat to go under my under my sleeping bag, under my air mattress to kind of have a break from the ground. Anyway, lesson learned. I will be better prepared next time. But I got through the night okay. I slept pretty good. I'm not feel tired this morning. Alrighty. Well, I will see you guys on the next adventure, and I'll be signing off. See you guys on the trail. Bye-bye.